Hello. Hello. Hello guys, is my voice audible? Hello. So what's up everyone? Welcome to the Beyond Skills, the real skills that get you hired. I can see people joining from all over, and this is our Careers and Skills Club collaborating with the Next Club in the Edgemoon. And I am your Tripuri Natraj hosting this event. And before starting this meets, drop down your engineering branches in the chat so that I could know who are the people that are attending this meet, and let other people join, and let's wait for a while. Come on, chat, be active. Hello, YT Studio. Thanks for joining the meet. And as you can see, we are going to share okay CSC and any other domains that have joined in this meet. So basically, this meet is tackling to every domain out there. I mean, I'm not only focusing on some kind of CSC or IT, but I'm trying to focus on every branch so that they can get to know about the skills that are needed, and they can get a real skill to get them hired. Okay, let's wait for a couple of minutes and then I will start a meet. Hello, Jagdish. Good evening to everyone. And I am truly grateful to the people who have attended this meet, and drop down your domains so that I could get to know that who have joined this meet. Good evening, guys. Good evening, and so let's start the meet within 2 minutes. And before starting the meet, drop down your domains that you are in so that you can get a clear understanding of how many people. Okay, so in this meet, beyond the skills, the real skills that get you hired, we will be explaining these four topics, and at the end of meet, we will have a Q&A session. So the first will be we will be explaining about the skills gap, and then two, the strategic career paths, and three, the building of your success, and four, a transformation toolkit. And at the end, we will have a Q&A session, and where you are open to ask me any question, and I will answer you regarding this meet. Even if it is out of the meet, I will try to answer it. Okay, so today is Sunday, June 29, 6 p.m. and you made a smart choice to invent your future instead of scrolling social media, and that's a good decision alone. Put yourself at around 80% of your pace. So let's wait for a couple of members to join and start our presentation and get to know about the real skills that get you hired. Well, I see quite people. And hey, guys, to the 12 members that have joined in the mid, drop down your domains that you are in. Well, I see quite people. And hey, guys, to the 12 members that have joined. Okay, CSC. Next, I see two people answering CSC. I hope other people are of different domains so that they would be able to get answers to the questions about the skills that are required for their domains. CSC. Three people have informed me that they are from CSC. Okay, cool. Computer science. Okay. Well, I made this event to be tackled for every domain out there, but it seems like CSC people have joined a lot. So let's focus on those kind of templates like I have used in this meet. Okay, so stay active in this event throughout, and then we'll have a cool conversation and engaging session. So let me start this event. So I'm about to reveal you something that is completely change how you think about your engineering career. By the end of this stream, you will have a clear roadmap and kind of real tools that are required, and most importantly, what exactly employers that are looking for you as a candidate who is applying for a job. Okay, so first, let me ask you something that is going to shock you kind of stuff. So answer this question. How many of you believe your coursework is preparing you for your dream job? Drop down your answers whether your course is sufficient for you to get a real job out there, or else is it providing you some kind of tools that you could work on to showcase your potential. I know for a fact that a lot of people who joined this meet took an initiative to show their skills and they have a true potential. No, no, yes, and it's true because it's up to us to take accountability to start working on our skills. Okay, so let me tell you what let me tell you some uncomfortable truths regarding it. So basically, let me read the four statements. One, I'm studying for exams, not learning skills. I don't know what job actually exists in my field, and I never build anything real world as a real outside assignments. I'm hoping someone will teach me everything after graduation. So basically, the trend out there is mostly on CSC. So CSC people do kind of know what kind of job is out there, but when it comes to the domain courses like mechanical or else electronics, ECE or triple E kind of stuff, there are vast type of jobs that are out there, but students who are preparing for that, they don't know whether these jobs are there or not. Okay, so in this meet, I made something. It is kind of a surprise, it is a deliverable, and I will explain it after some time. And it is kind of a roadmap that will help you in transforming and getting to know about more of your domain and kind of skills that are required to apply for some kind of job. Okay, so I think everyone have faced this kind of truth somewhere in the college life. Okay, so if someone has asked yourself these kind of questions, drop yes in the chat. Okay, so these are the four truths that I have been facing in my domain that I chose. So that's the reason that I took an initiative so that I could know. Okay, yep, yes, and thanks for the response. And yes, we have asked ourselves these questions, and we might even also question the system how it is working. Okay, so what what do an employer expect from us? So basically, I have covered six domains here. So employer basically looks for a specific skill, okay, like any practical skill, and then not just completely based on a theoretical. But I have gone through some F500 job postings and like TCS, Infosys, and Microsoft and Wipro, and I have did some digging, and I have separated different kind of domains and what kind of tools or what kind of skills are required for the different kind of domains. Okay, so for the civil engineering they need AutoCAD, revisit, or modeling kind of stuff. And for this computer science, as you can see, it is needed a database management API. And for electronics it is about PCB design. And you can see on the screen that these are vast amount of skills that are truly essential for an engineer. But the thing is, I was never taught. So I'm an electronic ECE student, but I was never taught to practically work on these skills like PCB design. In my curriculum, there isn't any course that is assigned specifically for PCB design, okay, and embedded C and C++. So the fact is, I was told to write codes on the paper, but it is not a proper way to learn the skills, okay, and that is not a right way. So we have to face this practical experience throughout the journey. Okay, so this VHDL and hardware debugging, my course has not taught this, but what the employer need is some real world skills that they can apply for their company. So recently I've into a startup company, and they asked me questions, what are the things that you actually answered, and what are the actual skills that you know. And I couldn't answer properly because they have some work that as an engineer I could do, but the thing is, due to college passivity, I couldn't be able to do those tasks, and it was kind of demotivating. Okay, and that is also an thought that has risen me to bring out this event. And I wanted to share these skills so that my colleague can also have some kind of knowledge of what kind of skills that are required for each domain. Okay, so basically let's have a reality check, friends. So I got a source from an ASCOM where it is told that 75% of students from engineering are not ready for a job. Okay, that is out of four people, three members are not ready to get a job. Okay, and also to crack a job, it literally takes around 18 to 12 months. That means you're not doing a 4 years engineering, it's like you're doing a 5 years engineering and going for a long term preparation. But if you prepared within the 4 years, if you have prepared for a job placement, you will have a three times opportunity to crack a job. And also maybe you will get an 12 lakhs LPA if you are skilled, rather than getting a 3.5 LPA as an unprepared. Okay, so universities provide knowledge, but it is up to us. Okay, it's our responsibility to learn industrial tools, industrial ready experts, and contact them and be ready with it. Okay, let me show you an article. So in this article, you can see that 83% of engineers, okay, 83% of engineers remain jobless or without internship offer. And this is a latest update. I mean, on March 2025, it's like a couple of months back. Okay, so you understand what this college passivity trap is, right? So the thing is, we are not we are paying lakhs or even thousands to our college to think that we are getting ready for a job. But the thing is, in industry, some different kind of experience is needed, like a work experience or doing of an internship kind of stuff. Okay, so in this event we will be tackling it one by one of how what are the things that are need to be taken care for an engineer, and also for specifically domain I made in repository to be repository that will tackle each domain and what are the skills required. Okay, and as I was explaining this passivity learning tab, so in college basically what we do is this is the flow we have: attendance and attend the class and take notes and memorize the stuff, and then we'll forget. So if there is an any semester, we will barely prepare within a 1 week, and we'll write the semester exam, and then that's it. After the exam we will completely forget the knowledge that we have been prepared. Okay, and for a job we expect someone to teach, but the thing is we couldn't find some kind of a proper mentorship or kind of stuff. So, and this academic curriculum, it is completely outdated, and to change this, it is going to take a lot of time, but it is up to our responsibility to start implementing or looking for some kind of other resources to start upskilling ourselves. Okay, so whereas in the industry we need some, so this is the professional learning that it have, like identify the needs, learn actively, build and apply, and iterate and master. So if there is any project, we need it to identify the problem, and then to solve the problem, we need to gather all the resources and get prepared for it, and we will start taking actions. And then we will apply it to the real world scenarios, and if there are any feedback that we are getting, and that's the process how the industrial domain works. Whereas in our academics, we just go through a flow, like finishing the assignments, finishing the mid exams. I don't know why, but our academic is so tightly packed. Within a 1 month, we will completely have mid exams, internals, externals, and semesters too. And it is heavily packed. But after that 1 month thorough preparation, we are not fully prepared for some kind of job. So if you are also facing this same kind of problem, I drop down yes in the chat so that I can understand everyone is facing this same problem. Yes, okay. So I see a lot of people typing yes, and that those are some reality facts. So basically, this is a skill that I truly admire of lifelong learning. Okay, so as you know, technology has been rapidly changing. Okay, I mean, you know, first coding was introduced, and in that era, all people are into coding. Okay, and then debugging is introduced, and recently the new technology is all about AI. Maybe in the next generation it is all about super intelligence kind of stuff. So it is all about completely automation. Okay, so as you can see, there is a complete change in technology within every 18 to 24 months. So you have to be keep updated. Okay, so 18 to 24 months, that is 4 years of engineering, like one our engineering lifetime. So if we join our engineering in the first year, maybe at the fourth year the technology out there is completely different. So when I joined in my btech first year, there was no chat gpt or this AI machine learning. But right now the trend is completely on AI machine learning, and right now the recent uprising concept is semiconductors. Okay, so I do have a hope in my engineering domain, and lifelong learning is an iterative process where you have to completely see what is going on in the process. If you are not up to date to the industrial based, you will have a trouble in keeping up with the pace of the changing technology. So do keep in that mind that lifelong learning is an essential skill in every part of life. Okay, and let me tell you one thing. So basically, when some people join engineering, they after engineering they expect they have three paths. Okay, so one is to directly go for employment, or to go for higher studies like going for a GATE exam or a CAT exam or doing MBA, or else to go for international opportunities. And in that, I made a breakdown in which if you are going for an employment as you are a complete fresher, you will get an different kind of packages, and if you go for higher studies you will get more packages because you are into this that domain for more years and doing masters, right? And if it is for the international, it is a completely different workflow. The culture is completely different, and as I mentioned, it is these three parts are the only options that out there for an engineer. So I want to ask you a question. What is the path that you are choosing? Is it path one or path two or path three? So basically from statistics, 68% go for a direct job, 22% go for the masters, and 10% go for the foreigners. And in the 10 people that are in the mid, what is the path that you are choosing? Drop down if you are choosing path one or path two or path three. One. When okay, direct employment. Okay, cool. Direct employment. Two. So you are going for higher studies, Nani. Okay, cool. Next. Anyone going for international opportunities? No. Three if one doesn't work. Okay, okay, three. So it's cool to see that someone is eager to go for some international opportunity. So the one common thing that is in these three parts is interview. So if you are going for any employment, you have to face an interview. If you are going for higher studies, to get into an IIT, you have to do an interview. And even in the international opportunities, interview is a one key thing that everyone has to experience. Okay, so you have to be prepared for an interview, right? So interview, what every interview is, it is kind of a test. So basically these are the six things that every interviewer or every employer expect you to be. One is a technical applicants and cultural fit, whether you are an effective person to work as a team or not, or you are up to date like an industrial awareness, or if there is any problem you are, or you are a problem solver. I mean, are you good at communication, and you have any experience in the real life project. So these are the six skills that every interview test is you kept to test the knowledge of an engineering student. Okay, and also as you can see, here is a breakdown of what actually matters. And 40% is about technical competency, 30% is all about communication of how you present, and 20% is about problem solving approach, and 10% is about the domain knowledge. So this domain knowledge, what why I gave the 10% is because we can update it. If we couldn't be able to present ourselves, if we couldn't be able to work as a team, is going to be a negative point. So this technical and 30% communication skills are the key aspects of life that matters most. Okay, so chat, which of the four things that you think you feel less least in the prepared of? Are you feeling low in the real project experience or any problem skills? What is the aspect that you think that you are so down? Okay, so this interview is and like a step that every domain people has to face. Okay, chat, can you respond? A real project experience, yes, real project experience. I too also do face this real project experience because the college, it is all about going with the flow, not formal. Okay, so the real project experience is the something that everyone is chasing after, and every job recruiter is looking after, whether they worked on real life problem or not, whether they solve some kind of problem that is there out there, and it is up to date or not. Okay, so to tackle this interview, so to tackle this interview, let me introduce you let me introduce you this ready.io, which is an interview preparation. And as I told you, this interview is a key essential thing. And the problem that we are facing is we don't have skills alone that are guaranteed to the job success. So the solution is ready.io. This is an interview preparing getup which has different kind of features like AR powered mock interviews and domain specific questions, and real time power performance analytics, and company specific preparation. So this ready.io is a key aspect where you can completely nail the thing. Okay, this let me show you a live demonstration of how this ready.io works. So this is the website that I am speaking of, this ready.io. You can come here and practice, because interview is something that we only have faced one time. Okay, so to be prepared for an interview, you have to get some kind of a virtual experience, and this ready.io provides you that virtual experience where you can have an interview with an AI. Okay, so if you sign in with the candidate, you will have a different kind of options of the jobs that you can apply, and also how what is the job that you are applying for, or any location, and then you have different kind of plans. Okay, so in these plans they're offering us some kind of resume analysis or interviews that are used. So this is the current plan that I have, and this resume.ai is helping me to tackle these four topics. Okay, like I can apply for 30 jobs, and also go for an MCQ and an AA interview. You can go through this interview website and start using this demo. Okay, so that you will have an preparedness for the interview that you are going to apply. Any job that you are applying, you just have to type, this is the job that I'm applying, and you can see that. So let's say I'm applying for some kind of an PHP in this some kind of. If I tap apply, you can see that it is comparing the skills that I have, and it is saying that I have zero skills because I didn't update my profile. So keep updating your profile, and after updating your profile, you will have your skills proper, and you can easily apply for the job. So I do suggest you to check on this ready.io website, where Edumun has recently partnered up, and you can also find a lot of internship part-time jobs in this platform. Okay, so this is a ready to go for an opportunity. As I was mentioning before, this internship is something that every person has to tackle in every part of life. Okay, so to be experienced, to have a virtual experience, this ready.io gives you an complete free offer to get that kind of experience. So I do suggest you to go check this ready.io and have a demonstration, so that you can check whether you are ready for this interview or an industrial expectations. Okay, and let me tell you what are the three pillars of this career success. Okay, so in this career success, these are the three things that everyone has to maintain. One is technical skills, and another one is communication and the proof. So this the technical skills is the thing what actually do. So when you are going for an when an employer is looking for you, he is going to look what are the tools that you have used, and what are the technologies that you are updated with, and what are the portfolio. So portfolio is something that showcases what actually you did. And the communication, so it is crucial, because if you don't communicate properly, you wouldn't be able to showcase the skills. If you are not up to the communication skills, then it is going to be a really tough. Even if he is a topper, if he couldn't be able to focus on this communication skill, then he will definitely face a problem in showcasing his skills. So interviewer expect a person to be really good at communication. So that is the top skill that everyone expects. So that is the reason you can do check out this ready.io to check whether your communication skill is good, and you will get an AI feedback that will give you an analysis of how much level you are, or you will be, whether you are up to the job requirement or not. Okay, so and a proof. So basically, the proofs that are out there are like LinkedIn and the resume. So if you are not updating what you did, like real life projects or some kind of things, it is going to be it is going to be faking it. So some people do fake their experience. So you have to show the proof. So you have to update the projects that you are doing in LinkedIn, and also in Git repository, how you did, what kind of troubles that you faced, or what kind of new innovation project that you are tackling with. Okay, so these three pillars are the key aspects of life everyone has to make. Okay, so basically think yourself as a product. Okay, so what if someone is buying your product, what do you expect in the product? It should be efficient, and it should be able to do the task that is provided for you. So attain a skill and brand yourself in such a way that so that you can easily do any task that that recruiter who has given you the job. You can do that some kind of stuff. Okay, so be these are the three pillars that we have to tackle throughout this engineering, and every engineer has to be good at these stuff. Okay, so most people focus on the first pillar, like some people only focus on technical skills and couldn't be able to focus on the communication. So this is a negative point. So let's be honest, chat, can you respond which what are the things that you are good at? What are you good at, communication skills, or are you good at these technical skills? Communication, yes. So if you completely focus technical skills, not great but good at communication, technical skills. Okay, so as you can see, communication is the topmost priority thing. But if you couldn't be able to have technical skills, so I used to be so good at the communication skills, but when I went with the communication skills, I somehow got an internship, and that's how I somehow finished my summer internship. But the thing is, when I with my communication skills, I cracked an internship. But when I went to the internship to do some kind of job that they provided me, I didn't have any technical skill. Okay, and that was truly demotivating me. And I had the proofs that I did this, but the thing is, I didn't have the technical skills to do some kind of project. And if you are neglecting any kind of pillar, it's like you are not fit. I mean, not to be fit, but you are kind of negative in that aspect of life. So basically, you have to be up to the tools that are required for any project that you are job or applying for, or the technologies or the framework. Okay, so do keep that in mind. So let's have a 5 minutes break, guys, and we will be explaining about the next two main aspects of the life, and like the LinkedIn and the resume thing. And also I'm going to deliver you a transformative kit that will be in a doorway that will give you many opportunities to the future. Okay, so do stay in a minute, and I will be back within a 5 minutes. So, hello guys. Let me continue the session where I left. So, in this session, let's continue with this the three topics that I'm going to cover. One is the LinkedIn and the resume and the communication skills. And after that, I'm going to. So, you've been into this meet for like 43 minutes. So, I don't want to leave you guys without any benefits. Okay. So, at the end of the meet, basically, I am sharing you a deliverable. Okay. So, a deliverable where I made for the 12 engineering branches that are in Andhra University, I made like a seven kind of like seven sessions that covers and every essential skill out there. Okay, so it is an repository that I am offering you for free, and it is in completely open source. So I will share you a QR code where you just have to scan it and then type unlock. So if you type unlock, you will get a link where you will get an access to the repository where it will have a complete roadmap. I will also show you the live demonstration of how it will be, and it is a very like that kit is everything that you have to know in an engineering. Okay, so I did around 1 week digging regarding the skills that are required, and I made a repository that is a well structured, to be frank, well structured, and it is quite proper way, and it tackles these things like first thing first, getting started, how what is your engineering and what is its core belief and the skills that are required in your domain. So as you get out of the engineering, you might don't know that this skill belongs to your domain. So I have tackled that skill in this skill assessment checklist, and also the career paths that you have, like government jobs that you can apply for, or some kind of roles that you can apply for. And also I, as I mentioned, the skills that are required, I also sat for like a day, and I have collected like tools that are used for that skills and also resources. So it is tackled for every domain. Okay. So and also the roadmap of for each month, what are the skills that you need to check out. And also, as you know, this rising topic AI, and right now I'm truly getting sick of this topic AI, but I sat for another day and I did AI research that is happening in each domain. Okay, so for the 12 domains out there, there is around 120 plus detailed guide, step by step roadmap, plus 1200 plus verified resources with tools link. Okay, and I'm going to share you this absolutely for free for the people who have patiently listened to this meet. Okay, and thank you so much for listening to this meet. So let me continue the three things that I'm going to share. So the first thing, LinkedIn. As you know, LinkedIn is not just like some Facebook. Okay, not like Instagram where you can share some kind of links. It is kind of a knowledgeable information where you will share that I have this kind of potential, and you can see this in this social media that I'm maintaining. Okay, so LinkedIn, where like Instagram, as you can see, you will share some like beautiful pictures or some kind of stuff. In LinkedIn, we will share basically projects that we did and the events that we have attended. So and we have to maintain this LinkedIn professionally. Okay, we shouldn't be deactivating kind of stuff, or else we shouldn't be neglecting this thing. For every engineer, LinkedIn is a crucial thing that has to be maintained in every aspect of life. So when you are submitting something, a recruiter basically go through two things. One is LinkedIn, or if you're a CS graduate, then he will definitely go through this GitHub, or else the real life projects or hackathons that he's going to submit. So that proof, as I mentioned in the previous thing, the three pillars. Okay, so this proof comes under these three things. One is the LinkedIn and the resume. Okay, if you should update your projects that you are doing up to date. Okay, and these are the five things that you have to take care of. So I will explain you within a 5 minutes. So one thing, you have to update your profile pic. It shouldn't be some kind of gloomy dark picture. It should be some kind of bright colors, or else Guys, I'm facing some network issue. Is my voice audible? Can you respond? I'm sorry. Is it audible now? Yes, it's good. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. I think I'm having a network issue here. Suddenly it started raining here, so sorry for the issue. So I will repeat it. I will repeat myself. So basically, in a LinkedIn, every recruiter sees your profile, whether it is clean or not. And I gave you a tip to use ChatGPT, and due to his insane feature of image generation, you could create yourself a professional profile pic. Use that, and also do update. Use this ChatGPT as it has a memory extension feature. Update what are the projects that you are doing, or what or you are into the domain that you are doing, and it will give you a consent headline and add that headline to the tag that you are into. Okay, and suppose I'm an electronic EC engineer, so basically I could go for these three things, like go for an VLSI or embedded systems or robotics. So basically recently I did an internship in robotics, so I will add myself a headline as a robotic aspirant. Okay, so that tag is crucial so that recruiter know whether you are into that job that you are applying or not. And also update your about session, what do you do and how do you do it and what's next. And also, so basically what I observed in any LinkedIn profile is, okay, let me take you to LinkedIn. Just a second, guys. I hope everyone is seeing my screen. Okay, so as you can see, you need to have a clear profile pic like this one. So I found some cool guy who is like an complete LinkedIn profile, and he adds these kind of tags. Okay, and in what I'm trying to say is basically if you are into something, any position that you add, you also have to add some kind of skills. Okay, as you can see, he has added around 25 skills. So do update these skills, and this session is highly important. Okay, so if you are neglecting this portion or else the mention like about, you might have trouble getting a complete showcasing. Okay, so you need to maintain a clear, like you also have to add your experiences, what kind of experience that you have, or what is the role that you are into, and what is the work that you did. Okay, so as you can see, this person has been an associate partner for some center, and he has recruited, trained, motivated, and developed talented individuals. So you also have to mention what kind of job experience that you did, and the education you also have to mention like some kind of achievements that you did. Okay, and this is what I am trying to explain. And so if you can update postly, so some people update daily, like I am into this thing and I am updating daily. Like I am following some person, he is into robotics, and he updates the progress of the project that he's doing. Day one of this update, and I tackle this thing. Or somebody is doing a 100 days challenge. You can also do that kind of pathing so that you can have a motivation or like an accountability of doing those tasks. So LinkedIn also helps you in that way. And the content strategy that works. So basically share some kind of projects that you are into, or the milestones or the technical articles that you like. Suppose in an so in an electronic communication engineering, there is a mass hiring in company, so you can share that article so that some people that are connected to it can share the information. And also the first actionable steps that I highly suggest you to is, I mean, get a connection of 50 people right now. And also, as I mentioned you, everyone has to get a clean about session also, like this flyer too, and get a clean profile pic. Okay, So if someone is not maintaining these five things, then it is going you are you're gonna get into some kind of a trouble while recruiter is into your profile. Okay, so do maintain your LinkedIn clean and professional. And the second thing that I'm going to cover is the resume. Okay, so basically I did a resume session where I took a 1 hour class of explaining how a resume should be, and also I've showed you a model. But as this event is tackling many phases, I am concising you to these 5 points. Okay, so basically these are the 5 points that every recruiter sees. Okay, so the first thing he is going to scan for just a 6 seconds. Okay, completely only a 6 seconds, and he's going to see any context or the links, and then whether the skills are up to date for the job that you are applying, and also the projects that you're doing, and the experience, whether you had an experience of real life internships that you did or not, and the education, whether it is like a qualification or not. Okay, so this is the resume that I highly suggest you to follow. And there is an app that follow, like Intelligent CV. It is in a Play Store, and I do suggest you to go through that app, and it really helps me in making me a cool CV. Okay, so everyone take a note of this application, and I suggest you to download that app. I'm not doing some kind of a promotion to that application. It is a tool that helped me in maintaining my professionality in the course I'm doing. Okay, and the fourth thing is a communication. As I told you, in these three pillars, communication is the main aspect that you have to focus. Okay, and in the previous session I explained you about this ready.io, right? So that platform, you will have a virtual interviewer where he will explain you what is going on. Okay, like he's going to ask you a question. So these are the four things that you have to keep in mind. One is problem. What is the question that he asked? So if he challenge you something, if you are a CS grad, I think in this meet most of the people are CS students. So I am focusing on those people. And if you are a CS grad, he asks you to solve some kind of a problem. Okay, then if you couldn't be able to answer, like understand the question, ask him again, because interview, what you think interview is not. Okay, so basically an interview is completely friendly kind of stuff. It is super. Sorry guys, I'm having a trouble in the network, so sometimes you might hear my voice cracking. So basically this interview is like, it's like an open conversation, so you can be friendly with that people and be professional. Okay, so you have to ask that person whether, if you are unable to answer that, understand the question, you can ask them whether, can you explain it more broadly. And then if you know the answer within that time of time, if you ask him to repeat it, you will get a moment of time where you will have a time to think about the answer. In that time, think about the answer and answer them with the tools that you used and the approach or some kind of framework that you are doing, and be it impactful. You need to show them that you have the potential and you are into the position that is going, that they are offering. Okay, like you should show super engagement and also energy in yourself, so that recruiter might feel, yes, if I do take this person into job, we'll have some kind of different environment, or if he will be a good person to do this work. Okay, so you need to present yourself in that communication. And we are planning on conducting a session on communication, and I do suggest you to attend this Edgemon session events in the future. And we are going to do an event on the communication, and where we will have a complete breakdown of this communication. Okay, and now let me tell you, okay, so let me show you this starter kit that I have been keep reminding of. So this starter kit, so is a repository. Let me show you the repository that I made. So this is the repository, guys. So you can get access to this repository by scanning a QR code. Okay, or that QR code will be shown by the end of the meet. And in this is titled as a real world readiness starter kit. In this, I've covered like a 7 sessions. One thing, getting started, and the second thing, the skills checklist, and the third thing, career path deep dive, and the fourth thing, tools, resources, and the fifth, learning roadmap, and sixth, AI impact. Because I have told you, right, this AI is a new technology that is into every domain. So I've made a clean table, so that if you tap this session, so let's say Okay, guys. So chat. What is the domain that you want to look through? So that I will give you a clear. So I will give you a live demonstration of the domain that you are willing to. So as you can see, there are 12 domains that I did deep research and made this repository. Which domain do you want me to go through? EC, electronic. Okay, EC, and any other. Okay, so let me go through this EC, electronic communication. So it has the starter guide and the skills. So okay, CSC. Through I will go through this CSC domain and the EC. So as I mentioned, this is a repository. You can access it here, like in the domains. I made sure the 12 domains that are taught in this Andhra University. So if there are any domains that you think are missing, do message me here or else contact me through the Edgemund Instagram so that we will update the Git repository day to day. And so someone asked me EC. So let's go to the EC, and it has these 7 sessions. So in the project, I also made some beginner-friendly projects where I have these things like a beginner, advanced, and intermediate project. So that if you want some ideas to do any projects, you can just come here and do some projects. Okay, and this AI impact. Okay, what I'm talking about. So basically, semiconductors, right? As I mentioned before, wait, let me. I still have a doubt what are the career path that I have. So let me verify with this. So okay. So these are the jobs that I get that I can have. RFs, microwave engineer, and it is covering the key responsibilities an engineer that should have, and also essential skills, so that you don't have to research somewhere. Okay, and these are the skills that are required for that domain that you are approaching, and the direct job links. So I also had these job links, and also communication system engineer, and the skills required are these, and embedded system engineer, and C++ programming, and VLSI engineer, IoT solution, and also technical network engineer. So you can see that these are the six major engineers, like the job descriptions that an EC graduate can do. And also AI is into this domain, and I also covered a session where I mentioned about this AI impact, okay, like AI in semiconductors, AI in communication and intelligence of IoT, like TinyML, and it is everything, guys. You can go through this, how to get started, and the links to be prepared of. And as I mentioned, so here you can see what are the skills that are required, right? Wait, okay, so to be up to date for the AI, these are the skills that are required, okay, and to be prepared. And I also made a repository for the tools required. Okay, so where I have given a tools that are used for each skill purpose, PCB designing and Atlum designer, and it is completely free, or else you can take a subscription. And these are the multiple tools that every engineer should have a grip of. Like suppose if he is doing an EC engineer, he is into this kind of robotics, then he should be into this C++ and also get some certifications, and how much exam does it cost, and a direct link to that website where he can write the exam, and if there is any training that I also covered this. So let's go to now. Someone asked about this computer science. Okay, so in the computer science, I also covered the same things, and these projects I covered some multiple projects like intermediate and advanced topic, and this is something it would take 6 weeks. That's the reason that it is in the advance. Okay, so do check out this repository, and it is completely free. If you think there is any some kind of mistakes, okay, just a second. I've sat down for a week on this repository to create it, and I've covered these 7 essential skills. So if you have any doubts regarding any skills that you are needed, okay. So if you are still in a doubt of what I need to do, you have a clear roadmap. Okay. So as I mentioned here, roadmap. What is the roadmap that I need to choose? So for a CS grad, these are the foundations, industrial level. Okay. And like Python is the first fundamental everyone has to pick up, and then this JavaScript programming languages, DSA, and suppose if he's choosing as a full stack developer, right? Then what is the path that he need to choose? Suppose if he's choosing some kind of DevOps, what is the skills that are used, and a roadmap of in which week he has to tackle which stuff. Okay, so I have covered everything, and I think this helps you in giving a clear, narrow down what you need to actually work on. Okay, and I also made a checklist here. Excuse me. and I also make a checklist so that you can have a progress of whether you did this thing or not. And I can truly guarantee you, if you follow this repository, and by the end of year, all you have to do is completely like give up on the curriculum, like a passive skill. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, so basically, you will have two tracks you need to follow. One thing is engineering. So basically, you have to go for the assignments, and I think you just have to focus around 2 hours a day to complete that thing. But you have to give all into the domain that you are in. Okay. So if I am, so basically I'm into robotics, so I have to give myself all into this robotics, and I have to learn all the skills. And robotics is a different engineering, so I haven't covered in this repository. But for an EC graduate, if he's trying to go into, so if he's trying to go into VLSI, I covered every tool that he is required, or every resources that he need, or every certification he need for an employer. Okay, and this is the transformative step that you can take right now. And guys, this is the thing you need to scan. Okay, if you scan and just DM unlock, you will get it in directly into your Instagram account. Okay, or else by the end of the meet you will have this link in the description of the live that you are into. Okay, so stay tuned. So in this meet, I think I've gave you the awareness of what are the key things, like the three pillars that are essential, and these three concepts of LinkedIn resume. And I also provided you a transformative step where you just have to go through every that repository and follow the step-by-step guidance that has been given for each domain out there. So if anybody is mechanical, you just have to go through that repository and go for that branch and skim through from top to bottom, so that you will have clear guidance. Okay, so that you'll have clear guidance of, okay, these are opportunities that I have, and these are the things that I need to update, and these are the skills that I need to be good at for the job that I'm applying. Okay, so do check this repository, and it is completely free and open source. So if you have any doubts regarding this repository, you can just ping it. Okay, and these are the steps that you need to take. So first, go to that kit and follow that roadmap, and so you'll be prepared. So for the interview, as I mentioned, you need a LinkedIn profile and also a resume and skills. The skills are mentioned in this kit. Okay, so do check out that kit, and if you have consistently worked on this kit, okay, that I took 1 week to collect and gather. If you focus this 1 week, this for like a 6 months, after that you can apply this ready.io and go to that platform and test your skills for the job that you are applying, and you'll get a real-time feedback of AI. So that is really going to help you. Okay, so apply for the job, and if you are matching to that skills, and I think if someone followed this track, guaranteed he will be an top-notch industrial ready engineer. Okay, so do follow this starter kit, and do check out this ready.io platform, and improve your interviewer skills, how to communicate. And so basically you will be pressured by the questions that you ask. So calm down, skim it down, drink a couple of water, and continue it, because this is just interview and you can do it every single time. So we are, this ready.io just gives you a virtual experience of that interview, and if you continuously do these interviews, you will get an experiences, and you can easily crack the interview. So this platform is something that highly suggest you to go check this out. And thank you so much for staying till the end of the meet. And I do hope that you got the awareness of the domains that you need to work as an engineer. This bit I just covered overall, and this transformative kit is specified for each domain. Okay, so do check that kit, and sign up to that ready.io, and test your interviewer skills, and be active in this WhatsApp community that Edgemood created, and just scan this code and just DM unlock, and that repository will be shared directly to your WhatsApp, or this will be updated in the description or in the chat. So you'll get access to it. If you don't get an access to it, just message to the WhatsApp group that you are in, and it will be shared. Okay, guys. So I've shared you a lot in this 1 hour session, but the thing that is into you is action. If you don't take action, you will not make any progress. Okay, planning is something that I did for you. I did a 1 week research on the domains that you need to do and the opportunities that you have. I did the planning for you, and it's up to you to take actions and follow the roadmap that I've created in the repository and do the projects so that you can have an industrial expert. Maybe in the next week it will be updated more, and it keeps on updating so that every time you have to checklist your skills whether you are up to it or not. Guys, simple. It's just you have to focus for 8 months on the kit that I just made, and you can see what level you have updated. So do go to that kit and test your skills and checklist what are the skills that you are not into, and keep updating, guys. Okay, thank you so much for staying till the end of the bit. If you have any Q&A, you can tap in the chat and I will answer it. I do hope this session was informational and has given you some resources that gives you a new roadmap, like a new way, so that you can go deep dive into different opportunities of different domains. So if you have any questions, I will be in this meet for a couple of minutes and ask me a question, and I will answer you based on the research that I did for this session. I'll be in this meet for a couple of minutes, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me or share in the chat. Don't forget to go for this ready.io and check your interviewer skills, okay? And also do check this repository which I did in 1 week research to gather up all the informations which are covering seven aspects that to AI impact on each domains too, even for the instrumentation, marine engineering. Okay, so do check this out, and this repository will be updating every week. Okay, so see if there are any new projects that are added, and I will also, what is the best website to get a first internship? Well, to get an internship, I think you could go for Internshala. But the thing is, to get an internship, I prefer go for an offline. Okay, so in OHUB, basically there are so many startups, or else you can meet some really cool people. Okay, go to the OHUB and you can with networking. By networking, you will get an internship that is into your domain. So basically, in my opinion, the internship that you are doing will be your career. Okay, what do we find internships of? How do we find internships of our domain? Well, you can just go for the internshala, or else I also did mention it in the careers, I guess. So if you go to this careers, you can see where you can apply for internships too. Okay, so do check it out, guys. This kit is everything that you needed, and it keeps on updating, so it will help you. So go for this kit. Thank you. So internship is another aspect of life everyone has to matter, because that's where you will get to have a real opportunity, like real world experience. And thank you so much for staying till the end of the meet. Uh, the start of the meet is kind of tense because this was a first experience for me to have a live session. But thank you so much for staying till the end and listening to the mistakes that I did. But I have did so much research on. I kept so much effort on doing this startup kit. So do check this kit, and I think this is going to help you a lot. Do check this out, guys. It will also be shared in the WhatsApp groups too if you missed out, or else if you couldn't find it in the description, or if you couldn't be able to scan it here, or okay. So I will also share it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being so engaging participants, and I do hope you to be in the further meets so that we can make it wholesome event. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. We are ending this session. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. And my name is Shepuri Natraj. I am currently the president of Careers in Skills Club in the Edgemont. So if you have any doubts, you can just contact me. Thank you so much for attending this bit. See you in the next video.